Miniature Market has thousands of board games at discounted prices. Click the direct link below for Neotopia or any other game. Hello my friends, it's the Game Boy Geek here. Today we're going to be building up 3 different regions from factories' resources, like we're going to be building up communities and technology and bio resources. We're going to be building up these areas. Now today we're taking a look at Neotopia. This was a Gencon release for Arcane Wonders. Let me show you how it's played and I'll see you on the other side. In Neotopia, you're going to be trying to gather and complete these projects that have beautiful artwork on them using certain colors and patterns of different resources. In Neotopia, there's 3 different regions, and there's going to be different elements from factories moving into one of the adjacent regions, and these are different resources like community, technology, biofarming, and sustainable energy. On your turn, you get 3 actions, but you really only have 2 choices. Moving a resource from a factory to an adjacent spot, maybe like this, and maybe doing it again for 2 of your actions. Now, when you've completed a project, because you start with cards in your hand, you can show them that you've done it in any form of this pattern, flipped or mirrored, and you're going to get that many points in this specific region. So you'll be scoring points in these regions, and if you ever get to here, you'll get one of these bonus chips that give you an ability, like turning this in to place any colored resource anywhere on the board that's legal, and those come from off the supply. For your 3rd action, you might take one of these cards, or you might take one from off the top, and at the end of your turn, this is refilled. Next player's turn. And of course, you're trying to take cards that are set up, maybe possibly already on the board. However, other players may be placing things that go against what you have, either on purpose or not knowing because they're working on things themselves, and this is a shared board of resources. And once a factory runs out, and by the way, placing these can also gain you different bonuses like taking an additional action, this will get refilled from the factory. So you have some idea of what's going to be coming out here next. Then it will get refilled with very specific colors, so again you know it's coming up next. You might be racing down a specific track to try to get all the different bonuses, but you need to be careful, because at the end of the game, the area you have the lowest points is multiplied by 3, so you're really incentivized to even things up between the different regions. Another thing to concentrate is in each region, you look at your longest contiguous of your color piece, even though other players may have been placing these and you'll get a point for each. That adds to all the 3 points on your tracks from the different regions, and again the lowest one of yours being multiplied by 3, whoever has the most points at the end is the winner. Alright, now before I get to my final thoughts, I want to let you know that if you like my content, there's now ways to get bonus content like first impression videos well before a review will come out, or for many games I don't even end up reviewing. You can even vote for which games get reviewed on the channel. You can also see me opening up packages and getting content earlier than everyone else. And now you can see what you're missing with a free 7-day trial at patreon.com/GameBoyGeek. Alright, there's Neotopia. I want to disclaim that you'll see the Neotopia box behind me. Arcane Wonders has been a sponsor of my show for quite some time now, so I want to disclose that to you. And so this review has nothing to do with them sponsoring the show, as I tell all of my sponsors. It will not give you any preferential treatment as to if your game is shown or not, or if it is shown, what is said. And so everyone must agree to that before they become a sponsor of mine. But I wanted to disclose that relationship to you before giving you this review. Now with this, first thing I love about it, beautiful art. The game is awesome. The cards of the projects just look so beautiful. And the production is great because they could have just been cardboard tokens for all these things. But no, these are these huge acrylic, nice chunky bits that you would find in a typical deluxe game. And they're in the normal version here. There is only one version of the game. I like games with lots of interaction. This game has that in spades. It's interacting with all the pattern. I love pattern building and I love interaction, so this game is right up my alley. You're building on a shared board. You're interacting with other players, but you're also trying to build certain patterns from cards that you either hold or you're trying to get, and there's some turn angst there. I love the streamlined turns. You're getting 3 actions. You got 2 choices. Place a tile from a factory, move it to an adjacent area, or get a project card. That's it. And I like that you don't have to take an action to play a project card. It's like, you place it, oh, I've got a card, here it is. I'm gonna move up these points in this area because that's where I placed it. I'm gonna keep going. The streamlined turns, I like games that have 0 fat. There's no minutia, there's no rules for rules. The game is clean, and I like that aspect of it. I like that you're planning ahead as well and trying to emptying a certain factory because you can see what's coming next, and you really need, it's blue, blue, purple, green on there. I need blue, I need a couple blue over in this area. I've got a card that I could do if I can get these over here. I'm going to just drain this factory over here on purpose. It's not going to score anything right now, but it's going to allow me to score this other big card later, and maybe it's going to help me chain together my endgame points and things like that. So, or maybe you can get a bonus. I like that there is, even though this is a very tactical game, there's not a lot of long-term strategy. There is some sort of mid-term strategy. You're like, okay, I need to do this. I like that aspect of it. I like that it's kind of like a game of chicken. As you start to build these and bring these resources in on the board, near spots that are bonus spots. I mean, if I place a thing right next to a bonus spot, and that's the end of my turn, I'm basically being like, you're welcome. I just set you up for a bonus, right? But I might need to do that to score a card, you know, or set myself up for a really big score next turn, something like that. But I'm leaving that up, and so people are trying not to go near those spots because you're also giving other people more powerful abilities. So I like that. I like that you're trying to race up the score tracks to get to those bonuses, right? And you're going boom, boom, boom. There's only 4 in each pile. Once they're gone, they're gone. But that also is like at odds with the way that you really score a lot of points in this game, because with these multiple scoring tracks, it's kind of like Reiner Knizia scoring, where it's like it's not your lowest score is your score, it's your lowest score is multiplied by 3. So it's not quite the full-on Knizia scoring, but it's an interesting twist on that, where if you do the math and you do things like, I've got like 12, 11, 10. If I go up 3 points in this one of these other 2 tracks I'm going to lead in, it's 3 points. If I go up 3 points down here, no, it's like it's 1 point plus 3. It's basically 3 points if you think about it. And then I'm going to go up again and again. So that actually scored me 5 points instead of 3, you know? And so you're always trying to be this balance. And I think that's really interesting that it kind of forces the players to evenly build things, keeps things interesting, and doing that by, you know, rewarding you by having 3 times the lowest one. I love that. I like that you're also trying to build your longest contiguous thing of your color in the region. So that's another layer of depth to think about. So I love this game. It felt like this game is sort of made for me. It has all the things that I like. It's the reason why it was one of the most interesting ones for me at Gen Con to find. However, the game, I feel like, is flown under the radar because World Wonders from Arcane Wonders sold out in the first hour. I played that game. It's really good. And I think that game had so much buzz that this game that normally should get a lot of buzz, and it should because it's really good and it's beautiful and it's got great components, it hasn't really gotten a lot of buzz because, again, of World Wonders. So I hope that I will bring this more to you. Problems I have with the game. For me, not a lot because I really like the game. However, if you're the type of player who does not like altering your plans, this isn't the game for you because you're constantly going to be like, okay, I want to go there. Well, guess what? Someone else is going to play something there, and then it screws up your entire plan. And then a lot of times it happens, the player right before you will do something, and you're like, okay, I got to completely reset and redo my entire turn. What am I going to do here? Let me just analyze everything. Your plans are often going to be messed up in this game, especially with the higher player counts, which I'll get in just a moment. So if you're the type of player that likes long-term planning and likes to set a plan and not really have to be, not be able to be thrown off that plan, you're not going to like this game. The people that like this game are going to be the ones that like tactical games that you're deciding even maybe 1 or 2 turns in advance, but really right now. Because some people like games that, obviously everyone likes games that are balanced within the player counts, but some people like games that they want the same experience in different player counts. And some games are good for that. Other games, some people are like, I want games that have a little bit different feel between the different player counts so that it gives me like a range. And this does that. The game feels open and loose with 2 players because there's only one other player that's going to mess your turn up before your next turn. So you can plan a little bit further because there's only one chance that that's going to get messed up. As opposed to when you play with 4 players, there's 3 chances of that getting messed up before it gets back to you, right? And so you've got these irons in the fire and you're looking at the board and you're like, ooh, I want to go there, then I can go there, then over here I can go over there, I get that card there, right? Well, the next person plays 1 move. Even if they take one of those things, okay, I still got 2 other things I want to do. I'm playing a 4-player game, all of those might be wiped out by the time it gets back to me. So a 2-player game gives you a very open and loose feel. Now you'll actually get more turns with the 2 players because the way the game scales to try to keep the game length about the same, and have the game built up a certain amount. But it's tighter and more chaotic with 4. So if you like to be like really in people's faces, really messing up people's turns, and really in each other's grill, 4 is the player count that you might like better. Where if you really want to not mess with your plan so much, 2 is the better player count. 3 is kind of that sweet spot in the middle for me. So that's it. Those types of people that would or would not like this game. With all that being said, I thoroughly enjoy it. So it is getting a Saxophone Serenade, which means I'm keeping it in my gaming library, which doesn't happen as often these days because maybe 1 out of every 20 games that comes to the door will get a Saxophone Serenade. And it seems like many of them get it because, and I'd say, a decent amount of my reviews I do this, but I probably play 4 to 5 times as many games that actually get coverage. Because the ones that I cover are the ones that I like the most. So I play a ton of games, and even just to get a review on my channel, I have to like it quite a bit usually. And then to get Saxophone Serenade gets this to the next level. So for all that being said, let's hit it. Game Toppers not only transforms your existing table into a high-quality gaming solution, but they now offer full leg kits and dining cover solutions for the full table application. Paired with over 20 styles of thematic game mats in 11 different sizes from notable board game artists like Vincent Dutray, collapsible cup holders, and real cool accessories, experience what thousands of other gamers enjoy by upgrading every game you play with a Game Topper system. Save hundreds of dollars on Game Topper package deals that are in stock now for immediate shipping at GameToppersLLC.com or click the link below.